and everybody shaking when you're staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive.
Hi, I'm Louis Herms, and I've got a real treat for you today. Here in studio,
Scott
we have
Stone.
Scott Stone from TruthStream. How you doing, Scott?
Doing well, Louis. How you doing?
Very good.
Good to see you.
Great to see
Long
you.
flight, 4 hours of sleep.
It's true.
What's
yeah,
going
hopefully
on, guys?
later Matt Geiger will join us.
Yeah,
well.
hopefully. Yeah, Matt should show up from Verity Metals. Great company. But how was our trip? Our trip was long. That was that long.
It was short.
It was pretty short.
Just felt long.
Arizona to California. We're sitting here in the Herms studio, the future governor of California, and we put on this beautiful fireplace just to keep ourselves warm. It's chilly in here. So what's going on?
Oh, well, I don't know. Still reeling from not enough sleep, but
There's a lot of great news. There's a lot of fantastic news.
so much news.
So how about this Ilhan Omar stuff? It's fantastic, right?
Yeah.
The Somalia, send everybody back to Somalia. That's what I think is going to be happening. I think it's going to be a fantastic set of events, and I think we're getting close to the finale. That's what I think.
Well, wasn't it the largest welfare scam in the United States history that was taking place in Minnesota?
The largest welfare scam in probably the world ever. But good to be here. Good to be here with you.
All
Louis.
right. You guys have hijacked my show long enough. Louis Herms, get out of this seat here. Hi.
It's Matt Geiger.
Hi. I'm Matt Geiger. Good to be here. Oh, wow. This is fun. So this is our new studio. My actual name is Louis Herms. This is my friend Matt Geiger. And off to the side, he'll be coming back on here shortly, is the great Scott Stone. So this is fun. So we're testing out the studio today, and it looks like it's working. Christine's in the background giving us thumbs up. So that's a good sign. Now we got 2 thumbs up. It must really be working. Hey, while you're here, do me a favor and like, share, follow, because those monkeys couldn't figure that simple cue out at the beginning, because they're whining about only being on 4.5 hours sleep. I mean, come on, what are we talking about over here, right? So it's great to be here. In fact, I have little gadgets and tools over here that I'm going to play with during the show. Let's see. So I'm going to ask the real Matt Geiger over here, how are things? What's going on? And let's see if we can get the camera just to look at him. Whoa, no, that's me. That's scary. Here we go. Look at that.
Everything's good. Tired, like I said, 4.5 hours. For you, that's nothing. I mean, you wake up at 2 a.m. every morning. So goes to bed at 12, wakes up at 2. I'm not like you. I need like 12 hours of sleep every night just to get through. But no, everything's been great. Thank you to you guys who have obviously called in and thought enough of us to come and do business. We actually had one of your people that did business with a certain crummy gold company out of Los Angeles, and we kind of took their IRA and repaired it, did part of it for absolutely nothing. We readjusted things, put them in better products, Didn't take a commission on a lot of it, just to kind of help them out. So, Carrie, you and your wife, thank you so much.
Awesome. And this is cool. So my dog Reggie is having fun with the ball here. I think this is awesome. Reggie, here, drop it. Look at, if you guys want to see Reggie, there he is. See that beauty? All right, bud. So
150 pounds.
yeah, he's a big boy
Literally.
for sure. So nothing's going on in the world right now, I noticed.
Nothing at all. Not like, there's Delta Force in Venezuela and South America, no one's there. Maduro's doing great.
Right. What's funny? Speaking of South America, let's go to Central America. El Salvador is pretty awesome.
It's awesome. It's been awesome.
It's amazing.
I love it.
It's amazing how easy it is to figure out. So there's so many people out there that they're like, you can't fix this through incarceration. And so Bukele just tweets, he just puts out a map. Oh yeah, here you go. Here you go. Right. So they've dropped crime down to microscopic levels considering where it was before. Right. So this is pretty exciting because for California, I'm looking at what models are working all around the world for health. We're doing, in fact, the reason why Matt and Scott and Stone, we're actually going to a half-day health retreat that I'm putting on. So for people to come in and get free health, awesome stuff going on. It's a private event, but for fundraisers and supporters and volunteers, we wanted to offer that to everybody. So we're doing a lot of that stuff, and it's really, really cool. So they're in town now, but what we're doing in California is really pretty exceptional. We're spending so much time finding out what works in another country or another state, even another city, and then we're constantly working on implementing that in California, because the reality is, if we stay myopic and just say, okay, what's only going on in California, it does a disservice for Californians and Americans in general, right? So we have to find what's the best of the best. So when it comes to healing, health modalities, nutrition, farming, water, crime, homelessness, we are scouring the planet, literally finding out what's the best solutions. And then that's what we're bringing. But I know that's common sense, so that's crazy talk right there.
Well, Trump's showing us, right? In other words, we saw El Salvador clean itself up, 2-3 years ago?
Yeah.
So we've had this example set for us, and for these countries, for that matter. We've had this example set. Why doesn't Venezuela go along with it? Well, why? Because Venezuela is the hub of Venezuela is the hub of the criminality. These people, what's being revealed is that
all you see on screen is this tail. This is hilarious. Sorry.
Oh, Reggie. No, Venezuela is we just got reports, and I'm sure you've heard about this, but Venezuela was getting orders from the Biden administration to essentially coerce, do what they're doing by the United States. This is our own invent, not we the people, but the deep state. This is their creation. This is their
That's right.
This is their whole construct in Venezuela.
It's worse. Who is Biden getting his orders from? He's getting his orders from China. Who's China getting their orders from? From three-letter agencies, NGOs, World Economic Forum. I mean, we really have to see how deep it is. It's a lot of cover, so everybody wants to blame Biden. Biden is
it wasn't even Biden.
No,
Biden's dead.
He's the puppet of all puppets, right? He's the puppet of all puppets. I love what President Trump did, though, with repealing everything that was written on an auto pen. Because if that can really take effect, here's what's beautiful about that. 90% of the actions that Biden took can be reformed immediately, reversed like that.
And get him on charges of perjury.
Right.
And why did Hunter Biden take the deal? Why did he get the real pardon?
Maybe he's spilling his guts a little bit because he's known for that. So, but here's what's interesting. So if you use that model, so everything that the auto pen was written turns out to be fraudulent and can be treasonous, right? Then you use that model. Oh, my dog just farted. Hey guys, too bad we're not on smell-o-vision. See, I'm nice enough for Matt that I'm blaming it on the dog right now.
I don't smell it. But thank you. Thank
You-
you for letting me know.
you
I'll
will.
be aware.
It's
It was
recognized.
me.
If
It was
anybody
actually
has
me.
a dog, you know it's recognizable, right? Or I've just been blaming them for 4 years. I don't know. So this is your next governor of California, by the way. So what's interesting though is if we look at this, everything goes away. Well, we can use that model, can't we, for any time there was
100%.
election fraud?
Yep.
So people ask me, how are you going to work with the legislatures in California? I go, it's pretty good. We're going to put them on election fraud charges, and they're going to go away really quick because we have the goods, right? Now, why haven't the judges done anything? That's the question, because the judiciary is the stronghold in the United States that is really keeping the deep state in action. If it wasn't for these corrupt judges across the board, things would have been turned around a long, long time ago.
Well, Trump tested him out with these mortgage fraud cases, right? He tried everybody on these low charges. He's testing the judiciary. So they're coming back saying, oh, they illegally appointed this person, whatever. These are just the lowest charges they have. I mean, the charges we have on, for example, James Comey. I looked into James Comey. A lot of people know this, and I recommend people read the book, Killing the Deep State by Dr. Jerome Corsi. Killing the Deep State, The Fight to Save President Trump. That's the name of the book. And I highly respected Dr. Jerome Corsi. And James Comey was on the board of HSBC Bank. He helped Bill Browder launder money out of Russia. It's every time Comey went into government, Mueller went out. And every time Mueller went back into government, Comey went in. So you start to learn who these characters are. And essentially what Corsi does, he puts it on a timeline for you. And when you see this timeline, you're like, it's dead to rights.
Right.
Right. And
Right.
who did Mueller indict at the very end of the Russia collusion hoax? Corsi.
Of course
They try to get.
Of course he
So
did.
that tells you that Corsi's legit. So his book
Yeah.
is legit.
Right.
His information is legit.
Because everything the baddies do is go after the righteous, i.e. Tina Peters, right? So when they have the goods, they're the ones that get the heat. They take the heat the most. So this is interesting time for in here. Scott, we should try to figure a way to get you.
You want to
in
sit on my
here
lap?
a little bit.
mic, but
I think they can hear you off of my mic.
Here,
Actually,
just sit here.
well, I was
Come
just
in here.
thinking, Swalwell's still on the Intelligence Committee, right?
Can you
It's
hear? Can you hear
absurd.
Scott asking questions?
It's absurd. Here, you want to take my mic?
No, it's all right.
Barely shit. Yeah,
Here,
just go back and forth.
Speak in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, your good buddy Eric Swalwell is after all the.
I troll the shit out of his account.
Yeah, I know, but after all that we've been through with that guy, he's still on the Intelligence Committee. I mean, that's one of the.
That's the biggest oxymoron there is in history. Swalwell is on anything called intelligence, right?
Well, flatulence as well. He's
Flatulence,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, and he's running for governor of California.
He's not even a California citizen.
Yeah, well, he's
He's a citizen of or a resident. Excuse me, not citizen, but he's not even a resident of California. He's a resident of Washington D.C.
yeah, he should be a resident of Guantanamo Bay,
Bay, Cuba. Yeah.
actually. So anybody that knows me, I'm all about educating the public on what not to do. So let me give you an idea. My wife made me some great tea here. I was in a hurry. We have this honey that is in honeycomb form. I'm like, wax melts. So I'll just cut off a piece and threw the whole thing in here. Well, I'm eating wax every time I try to drink it. And so probably that would be a fail. But the good thing about yours truly is I learn. So I'll cut bait from that mistake and I'll move on to another mistake.
No, but what I'm concerned.
We're talking about
Especially
honey
for-
and you're going to get serious again?
Yeah, I'm going to get serious.
Why did I bring
Especially
this
for
guy
you.
over? I thought we were having fun today.
Trump needs to, and Juan's talked about it a lot, is getting paper ballots. Because if we're coming close to that 2026 election, and if we don't have a real election in California, it's just like anything else, Swalwell will get elected. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
They'll just install him.
Well, you're so right. So during the debate that we were asked, and they asked the 13 candidates, how are you going to win this election? And if anybody remembers, I was the only one to say, well, under the current construct, nobody on the stage is winning anything, right? We're not winning the election based on the current construct. The good news, though, is there's a lot of work being done right now to possibly federalize this election because it will have uh, federal legislatures that are involved in this
Yeah,
election.
but what's to say California doesn't go along with that? You know what I mean? In other words, they're going to be rogue. They're going to say they're going to understand what's happening, and they're going to say "f you."
No, if it's federalized, I don't think they have a choice, and that's what they're working on right now. I would go as far to say as I would not be surprised if we have National Guards at every precinct location during this election. I would not be surprised at that. We'll see where it goes. June 2nd is the primary. We're gonna find out. I'm running my campaign as if the election will be repaired, because if it's not, California's
Then we're effed
done.
anyway.
We're done, right? It's absolutely done. So I do believe there's work in the background from what I've heard from the Trump team. They're working really hard at doing something with this election. So Tina Peters, by the way, is at the core of this. So I never want Tina to go by the wayside because she is let's say she would be the keystone to bring this whole thing down. And the deep state knows it. They're very afraid of it. And frankly, I think they're trying to kill her in prison right now by the way they're treating her.
Yeah, that's no doubt. Yeah, it's we have to go back to real elections because if we don't, I mean, the country's screwed anyway. But yeah, it's a tough situation. I mean, Swalwell throwing his hat in the ring. I think it's just a distraction. I think there's a lot of pressure on him in other areas because he's committed treason. And what did the media do? What was it, 2012 when the whole 2011 when the whole Fang thing came out? The media just swept it under the carpet.
No. Really? The media didn't talk about it?
He's never had to face anything for that. And I look forward to the day that guy.
But Matt, has anybody ever faced anything for anything?
Of course not.
Right? They really haven't. And so we have to either go with this is a movie, it's a total Q operation, or Trump's in on it. There's only two choices at this point right now, right? I believe there is something going on in the background because here's where I hold my hat on. There's still over 250,000 sealed indictments, right?
Oh yeah.
So why would there be 250,000 sealed indictments if nothing's going on? Nobody can explain that to me. So anybody that's hating on Trump or not believing that this may be a military operation in the background, they cannot explain that to me. I said, great, I get it. I'm saying, but I'm holding my hat on the fact that there's 250,000 or more sealed indictments. In history, that's like 100 times more than ever before, right? So if that's the case, something's going on. Something is going on, and there's been a lot of ships. I'll just say this: I have a little information on this, so I can't go too deep. But there's a lot of ships in international waters that are United States ships that have just been hovering around in certain areas for a very long time. And I did find out legally you can do military tribunals on an American ship. So I think that's fascinating also.
Very.
Because it's maritime law, and essentially the law operates with the idea that we're lost at sea. We, the people, are lost at sea.
So
right?
I believe what they're doing. So maritime law has been weaponized against the American people for a couple hundred years, actually, right? And I believe what's beautiful about this operation is they're finding tools in there that can be used against the deep state. So they're finding things that they've been using against us, and we're using it against them. And I'll give you the best example of that is we've been in a psychological warfare operation against us for a long time, but at minimum since the Kennedy assassination, right? At minimum since the Kennedy assassination.
I'd say way before that.
Yeah, well, it is actually way before that, but let's just say minimum.
Okay.
So if that's the case, what's going on? I've noticed that the good guys have been using psychological warfare probably since 2014, 15. which I think is fascinating because they're literally using the same tools against them. Because the internet was created as a weapon against us in order to completely control the narrative. Now, how's the deep state falling? Because of the internet.
Right.
Even though they keep trying to
Using their own weapons
suppress
against
us,
them.
their own weapons are
Right.
constantly turned against us, which, by the way, is biblical.
Right.
Literally is biblical. A lot of this is biblical. And you don't have to be a Christian or a Bible thumper to start figuring out that the similarities to what's been predicted in the Bible that's going on now are very clear, which is kind of cool, actually. Yeah, unless everybody dies. And then I don't want to be in that part of the Bible. But you know what I mean? It's pretty cool. So what I've noticed, Matt, lately is there's been a massive transition in the silver and gold market over the last few months that we knew was coming, but it's like here right now. Some people think this is the cap. I'm like, no, this is like
This is the beginning.
Yeah, the tip of the iceberg,
Yeah.
right? So talk about that for a little bit.
Well, it's like, we've had so much price manipulation over, decades. I mean, arguably over 100 years, you've had silver manipulation. Gold, they seized the gold. I mean, what does that tell you?
Yeah.
Right. And I don't think they're going to seize the gold again. I mean, had Kamala Harris won, they probably would have. But, gold and silver, it's just getting started. They're starting to have to admit the problems in the economy, and they're endless. I mean, the insolvency in the banks. I mean, back in 2019, the Federal Reserve under Trump, they had to infuse. People don't know this. The Fed tried to use the Fed to crash the system in 2019. And what was going on it was probably this time in 2019, Trump was infusing the banks with liquidity because the banks were about to go out. You think that problem got better? It's like, no, the problem's got far worse.
Exactly right.
Right. So what they're trying to do is they're going to try to do. I think Trump has control of the Fed, and I think he's got control of the situation. But Trump's got to let the system crash, right? So at the end of the day, and Juan's talked about it, there's going to be loss. And I don't care about these cryptocurrencies. I'm a big proponent of XRP. I own a ton of XRP, and I know everybody says XRP. It's gold and silver. That's the place you want to be. That's that's the constitutional money. You're not going to build confidence after the whole system goes down. And believe me, there's bigger problems than money. Your real wealth is your health, right? Stay healthy, stay viable, stay in the fight, right? The money is not going to be a problem. We're probably all going to get paychecks from the sovereign wealth fund. We're probably all everybody will be fine. But if you can preserve the money you have now, it's like, do it. Take control of it, do it. Take in your own possession. And as you know, I'm the only guy in the business that will help you take possession of your own IRA gold and silver. And I do say it as a plug for my company, right? But at the same time, I'm the only guy that does it. I'm the only guy that figured out how to do it. And the only guy willing to do it. Get into the precious metals because I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea. But I just know that Trump is target number one. This system's got to go down. It's a fiat money system. What's happened throughout history? Fiat money systems always die, right? They have a life of, you said, about 80 to 100 years.
Well, 200, I think is about.
I think it's about 200.
And they could continue. They could continue with through digital currency because it gets into the velocity of money. In other words, how quickly money transacts through the system. We could take on probably a quadrillion of debt and still have a somewhat reasonable benefit, but it's not what are home values at that point? This house would be worth $20 million.
Right.
It'd be absurd, and this is a very nice, this is a very nice place, by the way. I'm looking around. He does it right. But no, it's something's got to give. And I think there's great opportunities. What excites me is it's not the gold and silver that you're in. It's that when this thing comes down, is that you have essentially the cash money to take advantages of opportunities that people are going to be waiting 5 years, 10 years to get back their money through litigation, right? We're probably going to see on Court TV, right? They brought back Court TV. Remember that?
Yep.
We're going to see, Chase Bank, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, right? We're going to see them get litigated on TV while people are sitting there. It's going to be like the O.J. Simpson trial on steroids. And everybody's going to want justice. And you know what? People are going to get it. People are going to get it, but it's not going to be perfect because Trump's not thinking about this generation. He doesn't care if the three of us, right? We're if we lose money, he's thinking about generations to come. He wants to rebuild the system. And I think these stimulus checks that he's sending out, right? And this Michael Dell, did you see his wife, by the way? Michael Dell's wife. But did you Scott knows. We're joking about that. But Michael Dell just donated $6.25 billion.
Yep.
And he's going to low-income areas, and he's donating $250 to each and every child. This is how you can really accumulate wealth.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful, and you're going to see that this is such
I think
a
it's
signal.
by 18 they have 70,000. By 35 they have like $250,000.
Something like exactly. Yeah. So this is how wealth's going to be. It's like we were never taught this stuff in school, and it's so exciting to see this stuff because Michael Dell's just the first one to do it. People can just do this on their own. $250. Most people out there have $250,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to it's an economic generator. So I love seeing that. But I think it's a sign of things to come.
Yeah, it's brilliant actually, and I actually love this. But when we talk about the debt and then we talk about fiat currency together, I find it to be fascinating because the reality is the way they print money. Why is there a debt?
Exactly.
So
right?
Let me just interject. So Trump raised through tariffs $22 trillion. He's not even in office for a year. He's raised over $22 trillion in tariffs. What's the income tax generation every year? $4.5 trillion.
Right.
What did Trump just show everybody?
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it very, very
he just showed everybody.
So what's interesting though too,
It's over.
But now he's getting sued by Costco. Costco wants a refund
Costco
on their money. Can you imagine that? Just imagine that. So
I got a question for both of you.
Sure.
So there was a lot of discussion of an audit of Fort Knox, and then it just kind of went away, like so many things. It gets introduced, a little bit of discussion. Exactly. What would the impact of that audit look like if, say, it was painted tungsten, like the rumors we've heard?
Could be. No, that's a great point. Tungsten has very similar material properties, similar weights to gold, right? If Trump were to come out and really admit that Fort Knox, he'd crash the economy. He'd crash everything. So he has to keep the stuff under wraps, right? He's got to say, hey, our gold was looted. It's not there anymore, even though we know he got it back with the Jan Halper Hayes interview. He has to keep the stuff. This is like a secret information war where he's got to keep the stuff under. If people knew just from a public sentiment that Fort Knox was empty, the economy would crash overnight. Let alone what the real debts are, what the real numbers are, what the real deficits are. They found 13 money printing machines in Congress.
Right.
Where did that money come from? It's ridiculous.
What if President Trump said he was going to go audit Fort Knox, so it gives the opportunity of the baddies to go ahead and put the gold back in there that they stole?
So we talked about this earlier in the year. I think when him and remember Elon said, hey, let's go in with cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go in with cameras and just videotape this. I think that was just to terrify the deep state. I think he's going to go back and he's going to put the gold back in there, and they're going to actually do that, and the gold will be in there, and that will breed confidence.
Very cool.
Right? But he'll tell the story later. Hey, we had to go to the Vatican and these different countries that are politicians, the Swalwells, the Schiffs of the world that looted us.
Right.
And we had to go get it back. They sold us out. But that story will be told later. That's what I think.
All right, cool.
My opinion.
So tell us the benefits of going to Verity Metals and
you can come to us. I mean, for IRAs, you definitely want to come to us. I mean, you talk to these gold companies, just south of here. These guys are, what are people paying? 100, 200% premiums. I charge maybe 5 to 8%, and I'll actually tell you, I'll put it in right. You get an invoice, boom, you get your quantity, your price. We do all the back end work for you. We'll set up the LLC. I mean, I don't see why anybody would go anywhere else. And I don't say it to toot my own horn. I've worked at these companies, and back in the day, they didn't charge anything close to what these companies are. I was shocked.
Yeah, it's amazing
what these places are charging now. But I'll put you in the right products, and you support the show. And and honestly, going down to your local dealer, not a bad idea either. Develop a relationship locally. Nothing wrong with that.
All right, where should they call you at?
Call me on my cell.
Okay, and what's that number?
480-717-8255. 9081 and mention Lewis.
480-717.
480-717-9081.
9081. Awesome, Matt. Appreciate you. Go to veritymetals.com. Real quick before we leave, I want to bring Scott Stone in the hot seat really quick.
Come on, Scotty.
All right.
Grab my 4 phones.
Yes, Lewis.
So we have just a couple minutes here left, but I mean, appreciate you coming in town and hanging with us. So what's going on with you and Joe and your show? And because I know you're traveling a lot now.
Yeah, well, I appreciate the invitation. First of all, it's great to be here.
Fun.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be here. We've been traveling. Joe's doing a little bit of family stuff at home, so he's not with me. But it's a better climate. We're staying busy with Sirona and with Matt, and we just did a 3-part series with David Mahoney over in Spain.
Wow.
It was a lot of fun. That'll be coming out. A lot of interesting things in the works for sure.
Yeah, well, you guys kick ass. What I love about your show is the authenticity is at the highest level it could possibly be, which is muy importante. And I, not to bag on any other shows, but you guys aren't playing any games. You're not scripted. It's just let's get the word out. But you have a knack for finding the best stories that nobody has ever heard of before.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, which is really, really cool. So, because what happens in this truther community sometimes is we get on a circle. Somebody sees somebody on one show, another person does it, and so on and so forth, which is great because those people need to be heard. But Joe and Scott have a way of finding the best stories, and then after they play it, everybody else is like, "Oh, we should get this guy on our channel too, or this gal on our channel." Also, so
that's kind of the God part of all this.
Yeah, well, yeah, you guys are definitely connected, and there's some magnetic approach which I think you have, which is really, really cool. So that about does it for today. Anything else you want to leave us with?
I think that'll do it.
Right, cool. Well, got a lot of work for me to do today. These guys are probably going to go to sleep. They're on 4.5 hours sleep. Wow.
I don't think you're going to let that happen.
Oh,
we'll get some food and some caffeine. We'll make it happen.
That's exactly. So appreciate everybody. Love you. God bless. Go to veritymetals.com and that phone number that we just said. And please go to my site, hermsforcali.com. Make sure on Rumble you follow these guys on TrueStream. Appreciate you. Love you. Thank you, admins. We're out.